The whole project, I always say there's a divine element here.
Yeah.
I've very much felt, even pushing through all the obstacles that, naturally come with a big project like this with so many people involved, that, I could sort of see the finish line because I knew that it was, bigger than me and bigger than any of us working on it, and really about the healing aspect that, this project can have for our community and for our city overall. So.
Welcome to the Hidden City Podcast. I'm Grant.
And I'm Doug, and we're here to share some of the incredible stories and people from Oak Cliff that you might not know.
We're going to sit down with some of the visionaries, craftsmen, and business owners who have shaped Oak Cliff into what it is today.
Oak Cliff is on the south bank of the Trinity River, a few miles south of downtown Dallas. While technically it was part of Dallas, it was its own city for a long time, and it still has that independent spirit.
We'll dive into the history and the spirit of this place, exploring the different challenges and successes that defined it.
This is The Hidden City, a podcast about the people and the stories that make Oak Cliff extraordinary. All right, well, welcome to this episode of a very special Hidden City podcast. We are here with April Allen, who is the president and CEO of the Southern Gateway Public Green Foundation and is overseeing the Halperin Park here in Oak Cliff. April, thanks for being on the show.
My pleasure. It's great to be back.
Yeah.
April, it's so fun to chat 2 years later.
Yeah.
And last time we talked on the show, we were looking at renderings, we were talking about construction, we were talking about how you were creating belief in this thing actually being built.
Yeah.
And here we are, just a couple days from opening to the public.
Yes.
How does that feel?
I mean, obviously it's gratifying. It's exciting. It's, obviously we're also a little bit, anxious about just being ready for everyone. Yeah. We've got a team that's been working hard to kind of make it happen. Yeah. So, overall, I'm just proud of what we've accomplished together, as a community, really. Yeah. I mean, this project is birthed by community members, and, we were able to kind of take the baton and move it forward and get this piece of it done, and now we sort of shift into a different gear, in terms of opening. So I love that it's a project that has, come from neighbors. We're so focused on neighbors and our community here, and I'm grateful that I had an opportunity to kind of steward it and get us to this place.
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah. And also, I think, I really try to stay away from social media as it relates to posts about the park.
Yeah.
But there was one that I responded to, just skepticism. Oak Cliff. And, I mean, I guess if you live here, you're kind of used to people kind of being skeptic.
Sure. Yeah. That's kind of
being skeptic
kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's what, I experienced when I first moved to Oak Cliff. I always share that story. So, I think those of us who live here know that it's really one of the best parts of Dallas.
You're almost like, hey, you continue thinking that way. That's
fine.
Right,
exactly.
We're gonna come hang out.
We're good. We're good.
Lost.
So y'all stay there. We're fine.
Yeah.
We know what we've got here.
Yeah.
And but I do love that we have this opportunity to first of all, kind of prove some of those naysayers wrong.
Yeah. You've helped make something for Oak Cliff too. That I do think people will come here and it changes their perspective, I'm sure.
And I think people that maybe had an opinion about the park are going to show up, and you're going to look over and they're going to be enjoying the park.
Yeah. Yes.
And it'll be like, I'm just glad that you are now enjoying this.
Well, right. And that's what I kind of said. I said, just come see it.
Exactly.
Come check it out. I'm used to people kind of saying things and whatever, but I'm like, just come check us out and see what we've been up to. And I think you'll be really amazed.
You're gonna want to keep coming back.
You'll want to keep coming back.
For sure.
It's impressive.
For sure.
For sure. What's been built here. And like you were saying.
With such heart. I think that's what's really so different about this project is it came from neighbors. So there's a lot of heart in it. And those of us who've been working on it all this time live here. We care about this area. We love Oak Cliff. We love having this opportunity to really shift the trajectory for this area. And so I don't know. I'm excited.
We feel that. And we were talking before the show about that too, just how much that was baked in your vision. Like, how does this bring up everyone around the neighborhood?
Right.
We ran into Stash Design. Matt
you talk about
Yeah.
neighbors. Our literal
They're, like,
neighbors
busy.
at Tyler
Yeah.
Station
They're, like,
are here right now
they're
working
putting
on
some
things.
stuff.
Yeah.
I know, like Oak Cliff Beer, we're gonna do some stuff
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
I feel like
we're working with
there's,
Levine's on our uniforms.
Oil and Cotton, you said?
Oil
like,
and Cotton's going to be
yeah.
doing some programming.
Yeah.
Whose books?
Whose books?
Whose
That's
Books
right.
is
Yeah.
gonna be
Yeah.
doing some
Claudia.
programming.
These are all neighborhood favorites that are like
and
being
that
brought
was really
together here. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And that was the essence of the project is how do we lift up our local community
Yeah.
and give all of those creators and small business
It's awesome,
owners
April.
an opportunity to share with everyone else. So not just in Oak Cliff, but the people who come here who
Yeah,
aren't from
come
Oak Cliff,
experience Oak
obviously.
Cliff, yeah.
So anyway,
So-
I think it's a unique experience, and I think the park is beautiful. People are going to come here and be amazed. I think.
Blown away.
100%.
We were lucky enough to get a little tour a few
Yeah.
minutes ago,
Yeah.
and it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think families in particular, are going to they're not going to believe how awesome this place
Yeah.
I
is.
know,
Yeah.
and I think that's another piece of it. You know, our design team was led by people who raised their families in Oak Cliff.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
have
Yes.
a frame of reference for what it means to live here, and there was a lot of heart in that design
I
team.
believe it.
Design. You
So
can feel
I
it.
think the whole project, I always say there's a divine element here.
Yeah.
I've very much felt, even pushing through all the
Yes.
obstacles that, naturally come with a big project like this with so many people involved, that, I could sort of see the finish line because I knew that it was, bigger than me and bigger than any of us working on it, and really about the healing aspect that, this project can have for our community and for our city overall. So
That's a great leadership, April. For people who are just watching this or tuning in for the first time, never seen this park, where are we now?
Right.
Kind of in the park, like.
So we are in the center of our tree grove.
Okay. Nice.
Actually, it's the Texas Capitol Grove.
I love it. I love it. The Texas Capitol Grove.
Yeah,
So
so we're
fun.
grateful to them for helping us build a
Way to
park.
go. That's
But
cool. That's cool.
we're in the middle of our outdoor seating area, so we kind of envision this being, if you were to come and kind of want to just hang out,
Yeah.
work,
Yeah.
bring your laptop.
Awesome.
Of course, we'll have Wi-Fi, or, you grab a bite to eat. We'll have food trucks. We'll have some options in the building eventually. This will be a great place to come and chill.
That's
And then
awesome.
also even some of these picnic benches, which are beautiful.
Yeah, these are
design.
awesome.
They're kind of cool. We think, we could do, this could be where like Oil and Cotton does some arts
Their
and craft
crafts.
with
Oh, the programming.
kiddos,
Cool.
some
Cool.
of the programming. Or maybe we do pop-up markets.
Yeah.
We'll have some of those on the
Nice.
calendar. We're partnering with good local markets and
Oh,
others.
that's awesome.
So
That's cool.
so there's gonna be a lot of fun things in
You've
store.
got a green thumb too, so I know.
Yes, you know I am
hear
a
you
plant
say,
nerd.
I know that, but I'm hearing you when you're saying that. You're like, I'm bringing this in.
Yes,
so that's
yes,
awesome.
yes, yes,
That's
yeah.
awesome. What's behind us? We've got
Okay, let's see.
kind of like the
that's
open
the
field
great
and
lawn.
great
Yeah,
lawn.
so
Okay.
behind us we've got our great lawn. So think
Yeah.
of, kicking a ball, bringing
Yeah.
a picnic blanket.
Cool.
But then also we'll have movie nights. Like that's already
Nice.
on the calendar. We'll have, salsa dancing. There'll be, there's just all kinds of fun things.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
opening weekend is jam
Yes,
packed.
let's talk
Yeah.
about
Yes,
opening weekend.
Opening
That's
weekend.
Yeah.
So
right now,
that's-
basically.
Yeah, this weekend.
Yeah.
We're here.
So
Yeah.
Saturday morning we start with an opening ceremony that's going to be a lot of fun. We hope that neighbors will come out.
Okay.
There'll be a bit of a kind of procession.
Oh,
I'm not going
cool.
to give it away, but
No,
it's
yeah,
going to be
yeah.
really cool, kind of coming from both, uniting the neighborhood, sort of just
Nice,
representing this
nice.
opportunity to unite the neighborhood. And then after that, we run right into all the fun activities. Our opening weekend is sponsored by Amazon, so
Nice.
there'll be lots
Awesome.
of giveaways
Wow.
and fun things happening. Story time, arts and crafts.
It's gonna be packed.
A concert that evening with
Okay.
RC and the Grits and
Okay.
featuring a lot of local artists.
Cool.
And then of course, food trucks and all kinds of fun things. So
Nice.
that's Saturday. And then Sunday we have a whole kind of Mother's Day focus. So there'll be,
Nice.
you can kind of put a floral arrangement together.
Cool. That's great. I love that.
There'll be, I think kids can make cards for mom. You can order a picnic basket.
Okay,
and
stuff's
you'll
just
get
gonna be
like
going. Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
and you'll get, Halperin Park branded
That's awesome.
blanket
Awesome.
and picnic bag, you
Cool.
know. So that's all online. You can order those now for Sundays. So yeah, and then there'll be some fun things that evening as well. So
Okay.
yeah, and then we run right into our regular programming starting next week. So we'll have
it's happening. Yeah.
weekly yoga,
Yeah, yeah.
like I said, movie nights. all kinds of fun things. So you guys folks
We'll
will
come
have
out.
to check
We're
us
gonna
out.
do some
We'll
yoga.
be over here. Yeah, don't worry.
Or just come and kind of
Well,
chill
yeah,
and relax
yeah.
and be in a beautiful space.
Oh, I'm
You
You
said
know,
bring the
bringing the
laptop
family.
and
Yeah.
sit out here.
Yeah.
and, like,
Totally,
let's
totally.
Go. It sounds
you know,
so
you
nice.
can sit here and we're feeling a little bit of mist from the
Yeah, we are.
the water feature
I
over
love it.
there.
I love it.
It's just tranquil. I think
Yeah.
we just need more spaces like this. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So how does it feel? I mean, we're at the moment of opening,
Yes.
and we're gonna quickly reach the finish line on constructing the project,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna move into an operating mode.
Yes. Yes.
What does that transition look and feel like? I mean, because it's got to be like you're at the finish line, but it's
Yeah.
also like
The
kind of
starting line.
not
Yeah,
really. Like
yeah,
we're
right,
just
exactly.
at the
starting
start
line.
line.
Starting line.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting because we are in this kind of interesting period where we kind of transition from construction mode to operating mode,
Yeah.
and you can see folks around here kind of putting the finishing
Yeah,
touches
yeah.
on the park in time for opening this weekend. And then we've been busy hiring up our team, and we
Yes.
still
Yeah.
have openings for anyone who's
Cool.
interested, for folks in our park team to kind of bring this park to life for our guests and our visitors. We've really we made the decision to hire a lot of the team in-house so that we can really control the kind of guest experience that people have.
I love that. That's
And
great.
so, we hope that people are going to feel like that they're leveling up, I
Yeah.
guess, in terms of their experience here at the park, and want to come back and tell their friends,
Yeah.
It's fun. I've got a great team in place. Our Chief Operating Officer, Chris Lyons, joined us last year.
Nice.
And he has a ton of experience running public spaces,
Cool.
parks, museums, all kinds of places. So he's bringing that experience to bear here.
Okay.
So I think it's going to be a place that people are really excited to be.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so
That's
fun.
awesome.
Mhm.
Okay, so April, behind us is the 12th Street Promenade.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about this feature running through the park?
Right, so that's the
yeah.
main pedestrian thoroughfare. So it takes you
Okay.
from one end of the park to the other.
Yep.
We call it the 12th Street Promenade because it runs right into 12th Street over there. And that's, 12th Street was divided when the freeway came through, and
Absolutely.
that's sort of a representation of the neighborhood kind of being
Divided. Of sorts. Yeah.
And so
absolutely.
we really, with the 12th Street Promenade, have this literal way that we're reconnecting, the grid almost.
Yeah.
Stitching the two
Stitching
neighborhoods,
the neighborhoods back together.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, we're excited. And in the future, that's also where we'll be able to highlight people who've contributed to Oak Cliff's history when working with our Community Advisory Council
awesome.
and the community
Yeah.
on nominating folks for that. So we'll probably come back to that later this year.
Okay.
That won't be ready for opening, but 12th Street Promenade is, I love that it's a literal and figurative way to, knit the neighborhood back together.
It's so thoughtful, which I feel like that's
Very intentional.
Intentional. It's
Yes.
very Oak Cliff and some of that too. Where
Well, and
it
I
was
think I was talking
yeah.
about that this morning with someone that, I think part of the reason that we could be so intentional in the park is because we were listening. We
Yeah.
took the time to listen to
yeah,
neighbors.
Yeah.
And to hear from them,
It
about
wasn't
the types
just like
that they
immediately go in and do
right.
this thing.
Yeah,
It was
like our design team,
Yeah.
we spent a year building our community first plan
Wow.
around not just the design, but also the programming,
I mean,
which
that's-
is
yeah,
why we've
that'll-
got all these great
Yeah,
partnerships
yeah.
in place,
That's a lot of listening.
It
a
is,
year.
a
and
lot of listening.
But it definitely shows through.
Yeah.
I'm curious too, from your perspective, what other Oak Cliff fingerprints do you see when you look around the park? I mean, what things do you? Because
Yeah.
even just noticing some of the textures of the
I
park.
love that you noticed that.
Yeah, totally.
Good
So
job,
that's
Grant.
actually really intentional. So the escarpment wall is over there, and Oak Cliff, when you drive through the streets in Oak Cliff, you do see, because we're on an escarpment, that rock formation
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the striation in the roads.
Yeah.
So they wanted to mimic that in
That's
the park, the
awesome.
design team, and so that's where you got that texture wall. It's on both sides of that ramp.
That's cool.
The thing that sticks out to me is the mass timber throughout.
Yes.
I
And,
know.
So
this
beautiful.
is beautiful.
Immediately, yeah.
And we understand it's the first use of mass timber in a public space in Dallas.
Is it?
Seriously.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that immediately
'cause that
caught my
is-
eye.
Yeah,
I was
and
just,
I think that's a distinguishing factor. I love it. It's again kind of just an ode to sort of the natural environment that is
Yeah.
Oak Cliff. So we have that
Oh,
in our 12th
chills.
Street
I love it.
Senator
That it's one of the
there.
first in Dallas.
And then
That's
the
awesome.
band shell behind me, which of course will be where we have all of our performances
Yes,
and
yeah.
movie nights and things like that.
Yeah.
But what I love about the park the most is this multi-level experience that you have.
Yeah.
And again, that's an ode to the topography.
100%,
We're not
yeah.
it's not flat in Oak Cliff.
No.
We do have, elevation change and tree cover. And so I love that we have this upper deck where you have a whole nother experience. Basically, the park is just very multi-layered. There's
Yeah, yeah.
multiple places to be. You can come and kind of experience one area and then come back another day and have a whole different experience.
There's nice reveals. I think we were going up this one area and I was like, oh, look at this whole area over here.
Yes, exactly.
And so there's a lot to explore.
Yeah, there's a lot to explore. I love that. And of course, I'm a plant nerd, so I love all the landscape.
Yeah.
I think the landscaping is gorgeous.
Yeah.
So
and
good.
it's an ode to kind of where we are in the Blackland Prairie.
Yes.
Lots of native plantings, I saw a hummingbird last week.
Did you?
Oh, that's
Nice.
awesome.
So,
That's awesome.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is there, okay, this is maybe an interesting one, but is there a detail in the park that you think maybe people will miss, but you just love, or is maybe even one of your favorite parts of this park too? I know you're not supposed to have favorites. But
I know. Well, I think if you are on the City View Terrace, is what we call it, on top of the 12th Street Center here, you will get beautiful views all the way around Dallas, really, over to Oak Cliff, East Oak Cliff, excuse me.
Yeah.
You'll see all that beautiful tree cover over there. But I love pointing out that you can see the Cotton Bowl and the
that's
Ferris wheel
crazy.
at Fair Park from that roof.
It's
and
a whole
so
new
it's
view.
It's a beautiful
Yeah.
view, and it's
Yeah.
like one that I don't know that I've ever seen before, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like a new perspective
Right.
from up there, but you can
Right.
see so far.
You see
Yeah.
so
So
far,
much, and I'm
so far
July
across Dallas.
4th. Those kind of
that's gonna be
moments you're like,
exciting.
So
we'll see all the fireworks
I
from
know
here.
exactly. You'll be able to see all the fireworks all across Dallas, really, because we
Yeah.
are on.
You're up
we're
a
up
bit,
high
yeah.
here a bit. So I think that's the view I hope people don't miss.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
So we're talking about looking over Dallas and seeing the rest of Dallas. And
Yeah.
it made me think, okay, well, this is going to be a place that a lot of people experience Oak Cliff for the first time.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And there'll be a lot of visitors to this area. What is it that you think they'll take away from visiting the park, and how will this be a kind of a gateway for people meeting Oak Cliff for the first time?
Yeah, well, I love that you said gateway. 'Cause
Yeah,
that,
I know.
that, of
Seemed
course,
like a
was an
natural
ode
term.
to
Yeah.
where we are.
Yeah.
And really, truly, the park is a gateway to the city for
Yeah.
people coming up and down 35. I think about that in the context of the fact that, a lot of people who visit Dallas, and let's think about all these international visitors
right,
that'll be
yeah.
coming,
Yeah.
for World Cup.
That's right.
And they still have that, J.R. Ewing
Yeah. Yep.
perspective on Dallas, right?
Yeah.
And we're proud of that history, but there is so much more to the city, and I think it is much more cultural,
Mhm.
and I just think it's more interesting.
Beautiful
It is,
too.
yeah,
I think
and
there's
it's beautiful.
Yeah,
This is a beautiful.
intentional. Like
Yeah.
there's a story here. A little
There is
bit.
a story
yeah.
here that goes beyond that, and
Yeah.
I think the historical significance of Oak Cliff is really interesting.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, it
think
is.
the part what drew me to Oak Cliff is that it is this neighborhood that forces you to know your neighbors because it was
Yeah.
built for pedestrians,
Yes.
not cars.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I always say, like, we don't have most of us don't have garages that you're driving into, and then you
That's
just
true.
walk into
No,
your
I
house,
know.
and then you're never interacting with people. Like,
Yeah.
you're forced to
You
interact
have
with
to know
people.
your neighbors.
And
Yeah.
and people that move here and don't say hi when you walk by them, everyone's like, "What's that
Who is
about?"
that
Yeah.
Who is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
person?
yeah.
So I love that we just get to give people a differentiated
Yeah.
experience in Dallas.
Yeah.
Like, this is Dallas too.
Yeah, it is.
And it's a part of Dallas that we can all experience and be proud of, and that's why we're so focused on lifting up local creators and business organizations and partnering with folks that can give people that experience. But then we'll also have, we have the symphony coming out here this weekend
Oh
for
my
opening
gosh, that's
weekend.
amazing.
And we're partnering with Dallas ISD for schools, and of course our partners at the zoo, which
Yeah.
we're really excited about. So I think it just gives folks a unique experience in Dallas if you've never been to Dallas,
Yeah.
or if you've never been to this part of town, which
Yeah.
which quite frankly, given how large DFW
Yeah.
is,
It's possible
it's
for a
completely
lot of
possible.
people, yeah.
I was in Rockwall Heath this weekend for a baseball tournament for
Yeah.
my kids, a
Yeah.
place I'd never been to. I was
Yeah.
like,
Right.
"Whoa, this is great! There's a lake out here." So I think a lot of folks.
It's a metroplex.
It's
it just
huge.
keeps going.
It's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
And so I think for folks who, there's 1 million+ visitors to the zoo.
Yeah.
Our planners or research team thought 2 million visitors at when it's kind of up fully running.
Yes.
So we expect it'll be busy, which is great.
It's awesome.
And we love that we get to give people just a slice of the Oak Cliff experience. We know people love going to Bishop Arts and other parts of the city, Wynwood,
Sure.
Cedar Crest Golf Course. I mean, there's just so much here.
Yeah.
And so I think it's great to have this kind of
Jefferson
central.
and Tyler Station.
Yes,
too.
Tyler
Let's go.
Station. Yeah, absolutely. I just think that having a gathering place
Yeah.
where people
We found
mix
that.
and
Yeah.
mingle,
Yeah.
and it's that serendipity that you run into folks that you've never met or never seen before.
Totally.
We're out of our kind of bubbles.
I mean, I feel like you've made kind of one of those sections to the neighborhood. You brought people to like help create this section that obviously was a highway.
Yeah, I know.
Now people, instead of going to Bishop Arts, or maybe they still go to Bishop Arts,
but it's just another
they're gonna
destination.
jump to another spot in Oak Cliff that just got created.
Right.
So
I know. Like we changed the map.
Yeah.
We literally
changed the map. That's a crazy thing to say, but it totally makes sense. Yeah.
And then we have these great partners and neighbors investing in the local area. So now we've created, yet another space. Our offices are in East Dock.
Yes.
Love
what AJ's doing.
A short walk
awesome.
away. Yeah, AJ and his team at Proxy Properties, had the Oak Cliff Assembly. Then East Dock. Now, they're also working on the Oak Cliff Methodist Church over here. Yeah. And so that type of a thing is what we were hoping for. And totally. I love that. Again, we have another way for people to experience Oak Cliff. At East Dock, at Kuluntu Bakery.
Yeah,
I know. It's awesome.
The Claw, and
there's a lot of fun stuff happening.
There's all kind of fun stuff happening.
Great
The restaurants. I
Great
can't wait for the
stuff.
restaurants to open. I know the folks who've got the. I was like, when are these margaritas going to be ready?
Ain't that the truth?
I just love that. Like, we're creating another destination.
Well, you created this like hub where you're like, hey, this is important. I'm going to attract people to this thing as well. And you said people investing into this. Like, how does that work? Or how, like, have you found that to be in this whole process?
This has been a big, a big undertaking from a...
No, I know. From you and from the team.
Fundraising perspective.
And it's not like you've had a massive development team behind you.
No. I mean, honestly, for the lion's share of this project, we have had 3 women leading it.
Incredible.
Myself and 2 other neighbors, Ann Hagan and Jessica Muniz.
Way to go, y'all.
Yes. And I mean, for the lion's share. And of course, we've had all kinds of people working on it and partnering with us, and consultants and program managers and others. But no, it's really been a very personal project for all of us. And so yes, we've raised like $200 million towards this, both for the entire park. That includes about $100 million towards the second phase, which was again what we've got to kind of now turn our attention to. But we do still have a little bit of fundraising to do on this first phase, about like maybe $3 to $4 million left on a $75 million budget. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And then we're hoping to raise another $10 million just to kind of help offset operations expenses until we kind of get fully up and running. We still got to build out the 12th Street Center. So when folks go in there, it's kind of an finished space, but we're working kind of on what the kind of design plan will be in there now. So so there's still a little bit of work to do, but
those are some
so in other words, there are plenty of opportunities for people to keep supporting the park. Now that they see the park done, it doesn't mean that they can
It's not done. It's
Let's
not
get a Hidden City listener to jump in.
I know,
Let's
exactly.
go.
Well, you brought up the phase 2, and I think people are going to be interested to hear, well, what is phase 2? Like some people maybe don't even know there's a phase 2.
I know.
So let's talk about that, because we have this beautiful park, but there's a whole second half almost of the park that could come and hopefully will come in phase 2. Can you tell us about what that looks like?
So this part that we're sitting in is just over half of the entire Halperin Park.
Wow.
Okay.
So it was split into phases. So this is phase 1, and of course we're excited to have folks come on Saturday and kind of see what we've been up to. But phase 2 is actually kind of already kicked off.
Good.
Cool.
So we raised about $100 million from our public partners, federal,
That's amazing.
state, local, the last City of Dallas bond campaign, people who approved parks funding, we got some funding there.
Good.
And so TxDOT is already starting the work of the design and engineering for the bridge that'll go over the freeway.
So we're moving on phase 2.
Yeah,
That's
it's moving.
huge.
It's
That's
moving.
awesome.
So it's going to take a couple years for them to design it. We go from being a bridge to a tunnel over the interstate, and so because of that, you'll have to add a lot of those big fans that are under Clyde Warren and like a big fire suppression system. We don't have any of that right now, but that'll need to be added.
Okay.
So it's a couple of years before they'll kind of get that done. Then they'll have to build it, and then we'll come back and kind of build all the fun stuff on top.
Yeah.
And that's going to be another amazing aspect of the park too. So like the kids area, which I hope you guys will get over there and take some shots. But it's going to extend over into the second phase and really like double in size. So it's going to be amazing.
Wow.
And then you'll actually be able to come off the back of the 12th Street Center, like that upper deck. You'll walk off the back of it down onto the second phase lawn, which will be cool.
Second phase lawn.
Yeah,
okay.
so there'll be a whole another lawn over there, and then another kind of center, kind of pavilion area. So it's going to be fun. But it's probably 5 years is sort of our optimistic time frame on that.
Okay.
So
well, I mean, that's
and we'll
it's a
still have a little bit
project,
massive undertaking, and we still have more funds to raise on that.
Sure.
So yeah,
but it's an exciting thing to look forward to too.
It is an exciting thing to look forward to. So
well, that's awesome. I mean, April, I feel like Grant and I, like we said earlier, we got to go walk through this whole thing. We're seeing your vision. We're seeing the people you brought together. I really hope people come this weekend. I know a lot will.
A packed house.
Yeah, yeah. It's I'm excited for Oak Cliff to see this. You know, like you get all these updates over time, and you see some of the news articles and stuff.
Well, the buzz has been there.
The buzz has been
and
there, but like to see the timber, to see the garden, like to see it's special. It's really special.
You know this because you just completed a big project that you got to show everybody for the first time this weekend. Doug's been working on a documentary.
Yeah. I've been executive producing a documentary in what you said earlier. I mean,
resonated with you, I'm sure.
Yeah, where it's like, hey, this is 5-year project that's coming to an end. But it's also like the beginning. You're like, now we have distribution. Now we now have to like figure out for this thing. And so
the nervousness and excitement of, okay, how's this going to be received? But also just the relief of like, okay, it's locked in.
Created something that people are engaging with or like seeing and stuff. So
well, and this has like a whole kind of, we had a group out a couple weeks ago. The board of one of our very generous donors and supporters came, and one of the women, she stopped me and she said, April, I have to tell you, 2 years ago, we were out here on that slab.
I know.
And
we
were talking about this, and I was like, good luck, sister. And she's like, what you've done here and what your team has done here, I mean, just think about the legacy, for your kids and their kids and generations to come. So that's something that I'm trying to soak it all in and take this moment in and just appreciate like what our team and our neighborhood has done. This is what our neighborhood has come together and made happen, and it's really special.
Not
and I'm
often
really
when
grateful.
You work on a project that's going to be here a very long time.
Yes.
What a cool project to get to work on. But I know you've poured a lot of your heart and energy and soul into this, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming back and checking it out.
We're excited about it. So. Last things, where can people follow Halperin Park and also maybe learn more about the project?
And when can they visit after this weekend?
So starting Saturday, the park is open. So
awesome.
Go to halperinpark.org. Okay. You'll see the calendar of events and activities. We're launching our new website this week, so that all of that'll start to populate.
Cool.
And of course, follow us on Insta and all the socials, LinkedIn, Facebook, and we will be posting everything there as well. But after Saturday,
come visit.
It's wide open. Come visit.
That's awesome.
Also, we've got lots of folks who are reaching out, asking about hosting events here. So that's definitely something you can do as well. And as we try to kind of think about sustainability for the park, that's one aspect that we're planning on.
The whole
rent space out, whether it be the rooftop area or some of the buildings.
Awesome.
So that's definitely an option as well.
That's
awesome. And then one thing people do ask a lot about is parking. It's Dallas.
Good point.
So
we should talk about
let's
parking.
talk about that. Just how do you get here?
Yeah.
Lots of options. So of course, we're encouraging folks to use public transportation where you can.
Definitely.
The Zoo Dart Station is, a hop, skip, and a jump down the road.
It's right there.
But we're also partnering with our friends at the zoo, so you can park in the zoo's surface parking lot. They've just opened a new parking garage.
Nice.
So those are options. We're working on some options on this side of the park. For opening weekend, there actually will be quite a few parking options. So go to our website and you'll see that. Okay. And for special events, there'll be many options beyond just the zoo, but those are there. And then of course, the Dart bus runs just down the street as well. So
that's awesome.
And then we do have, we're encouraging ride share. So there is a drop off lane here on Ewing behind us.
Oh, nice.
That people can use.
Take your cyber cab.
Yes,
drop off
exactly.
Your Waymo.
Take
Man,
your
they're
Waymo.
all over Oak Cliff.
You can ride your bike. You have to park it. You can't ride through the park, but we do have a place for you to park your bike.
Yeah, the red line is literally right there.
The red
so I
line's
feel
right
like
there
that's going to be
You guys
awesome.
could take it.
I know.
From Tyler Station.
That's what I'm going to do. You already got my weekend planned out.
There you go.
So that's awesome.
I love it. Well, thanks for coming on the show.
April,
great
congrats.
catching up.
Awesome.
Appreciate
Thanks.
it.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to this episode of The Hidden City. We hope you discovered something about Oak Cliff that you didn't know. If you enjoyed the show, I hope you subscribe to it on YouTube and then follow us on any of the podcasting platforms. Also, if you enjoyed it, please share with a friend, and thanks so much for tuning in.